We are at Belmont High School in Dayton, Ohio. And I'm getting ready to pour into the teachers about burnout. So I have my Amazon best-selling book, The 7 Secrets of Beating Educator Burnout, Proven Solutions for Educational Wellness. But we're not just talking about theoretical things. Like, we really get down to, like, how are you responding to your personal needs and how can you be the best version of yourself? So it's going to be amazing. Wait till you see how locked in the teachers are. And I just want to pour into them and let them know that teachers are superheroes and we got to make sure that they're taking care of their mental health. So come on inside and see what we got going on. Saying that, like, a lot of us take a lot of things for granted. And I just want you to think about you as I go through this today. I really want you to think about you and what you're grateful for. And so this is Shariel, one of my former players. And she goes and helps me and does some of these things. And so she'll be doing some stuff with us today. Can we clap it up for ourselves? Like, y'all, like, seriously. So it's funny. I did this in Barberton. I don't know if you guys are familiar in Barberton, Ohio. And so I was doing some teacher coaching in terms of mindset and things of that nature. And like, I'm very, very energetic when it comes to like positivity. And so at first people was kind of looking at me like, hold on, like, is this dude really like this all the time? And it's just really genuinely me. And so I really want y'all to understand how you are a superhero, right? That doesn't mean you do everything great, because we all have areas to improve. But the fact that you are in education, you are a superhero and you haven't celebrated your growth. So I need a couple people to share something with me that they feel like they grew in this year, educationally. Teachers. Yes, ma'am. Patience. Anybody else? Can we snap to that? Can we snap to that? Right? Anybody else? What did you grow in? Yes. Confidence. How many years have you been teaching? This is your first year. Did people in here take you under their wing and give you some confidence? Thank you for those of you who took her under the wing and made sure that she got some confidence, because that's very, very important. Can I get 2 more? Thank y'all. That was my point. Look around. It's about 60, 70 people in here, and we had 2 people willing to talk about their growth. We don't talk about what we do well enough, y'all. And I know y'all ready to go. I get it. But like, why don't we celebrate us? Why aren't we excited about when we do something well? Why don't we celebrate it more? I don't care if it's you and one other person. We have to be better at that. So what I'm going to talk about today is how can we be better for ourselves, y'all? Because if something happened to you today, tomorrow, or probably the next day, probably 48 hours, they will post your job. I'm going to give you some words, right? I'm going to say them. It's grace, voice, respect, courage, boundaries, joy. Look, I got grace on here twice.
That's because it's important.
Man, look, I didn't even know that. And communication, okay? Okay, so we're going to eliminate. What you're going to do is, from these 7 words, you're going to get down to the one word that you absolutely cannot eliminate, because it's to your core. It's to your core. So what you're eliminating is somehow, I feel it, but I can eliminate that. But keep the word that is to your core, because we're trying to get down to that word. So I want you to eliminate a couple. So let's do that. I'm about to make y'all get up, because you got to get up. If your word is grace, please get up. And can you guys go on over and create a small little group over by that front door? If your word is voice, do we have anybody with voice? Everybody eliminated voice. Okay. Do we have respect? Whose word is respect? Come on up, respect. What about courage? Courage. Stand up, courage. Boundaries. Boundaries. Can you guys come up here in the front? Communication. Can y'all go over to Tony? All right. Hey, listen up, guys. We are all individuals. I'm going to boundaries because that's mine. I'm just going to give us some time. I want us to share, like, why did you have this word? Because you might learn something about a colleague that you didn't know. So it's going to just be an opportunity for us to have some conversation. But talking amongst your people, like, why is that your word? 2 things. Whatever your word is, I hope that you take that word over the summer and just kind of like, let that be your word, right? That's my challenge to you. Like, let that be your word. Because I was sharing, like, for me, it's boundaries, but it's boundaries in trying to do everything and help everyone, because that's just naturally me. But what happened was I wasn't taking care of myself physically, and I had some stuff, like I work out, like I try to eat well, and I wasn't taking care of myself. And so when you don't take care, again, if something would have happened to me, they would have found my replacement really quick, right? So I had to take that mindset and just shift it to other things. Are you who you say you are? And are you who you ought to be? I'm not talking about the teacher, guys. I'm talking about the person. Who are you? Okay? So be who you ought to be. I just wanted to share that. And then I want to talk about burnout a little bit, right? Because it's real. It's a real thing. It happens, right? And so I got some statistics, right? But talking about 76% of employees experiencing burnout at the job sometimes. I want to talk about teacher burnout. And you know what I'm saying, the correlation of like student engagement. And so I think, so here's how, what I believe and what I wrote about and what I did in my career, right? I had a lot of very transparent conversations with students all the time, especially the students in the self-contained, because people would say stuff like, man, you like really like that class, or those students, or them kids, and things of that nature. And when you peel back the layers, right, it was a lot going on with the students that I taught, like a lot, right? And so I was in my city, I'm at my alma mater teaching, doing all of that stuff, but like, so engagement looks different for every student, right? And so I'm like, okay, let me think about that. And then like, it's a lot of teachers that's like, man, I can't do this no more. They're leaving early or whatever the case may be. And so again, I'm bringing that up because I want us to think about us and becoming the best us and things of that nature, because teaching is going to continue to kind of be what it is. You know, you have some areas are advancing, but to me, I think this is a conversation, an engagement conversation you should have in your classroom. You don't got to tell your students everything, but you got to share your story. And so I've challenged you to make yourself human, to let them know like stuff happens. This is supposed to be an activity, but I'm going to do it this way. I'm giving you all, it's something called permission slips, right? I'm giving you all permission. Give yourselves permission. Give yourselves permission to have a bad day. Give yourselves permission to start over. Give yourselves permission to give grace when you really didn't think maybe it was grace needed. And like, give it, like, so I'm challenging you to do that this summer for you. Not for the kids at Belmont. I want you to have permission slips for yourself on 2 things this summer that you can kind of hold yourself accountable to, that like give yourself permission to get better at something that maybe you need to get better at, or try something different, right? Like the next secret that's in the book, again, the book will go deeper into these things, is like make young people like coming to your class. Like even if it's just one day a week, like get them involved. But anyway, yeah, find a way for you and your students to have fun together. Even if it's controlled choice, y'all know this, but I'm being redundant, right? Give them 3 options that you want. I'm telling you, psychologically, right? It works. Give them 3 options, like, look, and you gotta sell it. Now, y'all gotta sell it a little bit. Like, look, I'm giving you a choice. Like, you get to pick. I don't care which one you pick, but give them a choice. You know what I'm saying? You gotta sell it.
And we've got to encourage each other.
Yeah, I'm happy for that.
We've got to not be offended when someone says, hey, you can't let that kid in your room because he's supposed to be in mine. Or hey, can I encourage you to be better at this? Because I want people to come up to me and go, hey, Tyler, you're doing an amazing job here and here and here, but man, you need to work on this, right? So we got to be able to not only encourage each other in what we're doing right, but challenge each other to be better.
Absolutely.
That is that when you're growing, you're like oriented towards growth, right? You're taking risks, right? Like risks.
Absolutely.
Right? Which is learning.
Absolutely.
But if you don't have that foundation behind it of like, I haven't eaten enough, slept enough, all that, and then it becomes smaller as that space where you can do that.
If you have a growth mindset, if you just want to be better at whatever, I'm gonna keep saying this so y'all can understand, I am not talking about teaching only. Teaching is a part of you, but it's not you, right? You're more likely to try things. You feel more satisfied. And from an educational standpoint, like your incidents are be reduced when you look at things differently, right? I don't know if you guys have heard of Wayne Dyer, but he has a quote that says, change the way you look at things and the things you look at change. If you focus on deficits, you just bring yourself more stress. I'm talking about education, but I'm talking about you. Y'all better start focusing on something you're doing well. And you better find you something to celebrate about you guys. The reentry plan that I talk about in here is like, you're a teacher. You send a student to the principal gives the consequence, the student comes back, and like there was no like interface, right? So it's like the consequence came from the principal, like I don't know, like can I go back to class? All right, you know what I'm saying? You still mad? Like what's our beef? What we got going on, right? And so I made it a point for me in my mind, right, to make sure that when a person came back, like we gotta have a conversation. And so that's it. Like the whole point of today, y'all, was not to talk about what happened this past year. It's for y'all to talk about the summer. And if you want to connect with me, there are my socials. And, feel free.
What stood out most to me would be choosing that word. And the word I selected was courage, because I am in a season where I am standing firm in my beliefs. I'm speaking boldly. And I realize, honestly, that courage is the word that is all-encompassing of all the words that were presented on the screen.
Something I really took away from the presentation is that it's okay to be selfish when it comes to burnout. It's okay to set boundaries, because in my over 15-year career as a teacher, that's been something that I've struggled with a lot, is setting boundaries. But when I saw that that was one of the words that you could choose to resonate with, that made me feel better. It made me not feel selfish. It made me feel like an effective educator.